If they can work it out themselves, that's obviously best. If both parties were interested in support from the UN, etc., we'd obviously support that as well. But at the moment, we're urging them to talk to each other.
The US State Department dismissing Pakistan's call for a UN probe into India's allegations of brutality and savagery by Pakistani troops on the border. Almost simultaneously, the Indian political leadership echoing these sentiments.
We are certainly not going to agree to internationalize the issue or allow the UN to hold an inquiry. That demand is obviously rejected out of hand.
Let the normal diplomatic channels and the channels that we have for communications between our respective armed forces, let them proceed with what is required to be done, and then appropriately we'll reflect upon the results and see what further steps may be taken.
India has its arguments, primarily the existence of 49 bilateral conventions in place to handle the issue. But how long can India afford to look away when such horrifying acts of savagery are carried out against our soldiers? How long will India choose not to have this treated as a war crime? How many Saurabh Kalias will have to be tortured before India acts? Why is the government continuing to ignore public sentiment?
What do you think of Pakistan's suggestion that UN MOGIP should investigate the January 8 incident across on the LOC? Are we willing?
MOGIP still exists? I thought they don't have a role.
Group in India and Pakistan located near India Gate in New Delhi. Now this was the agency which was referred to in very dismissive terms by India's National Security Advisor Shiv Shankar Menon, who even questioned his existence. So while India is the victim, it is actually Pakistan which is complaining. It is complained to this agency and asked it to investigate the January 6th exchange of fire at Uri, which is being described as a precursor to the brutal skirmish of January 8 at Menda, in which 2 Indian soldiers were mutilated and one of them beheaded.
The line of control continues to simmer with tension, with fresh firing reported on both sides. Yet India confirmed that the killings would not impact the recent decision to introduce a more liberal visa process. The BJP sees potential to attack the government politically on the matter. Sushma Swaraj tweets demanding tough measures from the government and promises to support them. She goes on to highlight inaction against Pakistan, accusing the government of weakness and inability to take tough decisions. America's endorsement of India's call to keep the matter at the bilateral level may be a victory for India's stand on Kashmir, but there's no doubting that it comes at a heavy price. With Vishal Thapar, Bureau Report, News 8.